Okay, second tier list of the year for 2025, and we are going to be taking a look at PVE and placing the new characters into the PVE tier list. So when I place characters into this tier list, we base it on three things. We look at VE Tower, Climax Battle, and Club Festival, and if the character can perform well in all three of those things, they go in S tier. If they can only perform well in two of those things, they go in A tier. If they perform well in one of those specific things, they go in B tier. And then for C, we'll use them like once in a while. Maybe they're good in one particular Climax Battle or something like that. D tier, you'll use them for pretty much nothing. And F is like, just don't use these characters. They're really, really bad. So starting with our first character, Toru here. Toru is a pretty decent healer. She's not the craziest character. She is good in Climax Battle because of the healing and what she can do. She can be used, I would say, in multiple Climax Battles. Any healer really can. She's okay-ish in VE Tower. She doesn't have like, she does have a status element, the blind, but it's not like super crazy. Not the best technicals and things like that. She's okay. She could be a choice to use. I think there's better choices when it comes to technical status elements and stuff like that for VE Tower. And then in Club Festival, I would say she's just meh, because really in Club Festival you're looking for like high damage characters with AoEs typically. Once in a while you might need a healer, but I don't think Toru is going to be a lot of use for that. So for that reason, I'm going to put Toru into B tier. I would say she's kind of a niche character. She's good for one particular thing, which in my opinion is Climax Battle. She's okay in VE Tower and Club Festival, but not anything too broken or too crazy. So that's my reasoning there. Next up, we have the new Winter Sue. So Winter Sue is a very, very good character in my opinion for VE Tower. If I'm understanding the way she works right, at least I should say, because of the technical hits that she offers with lowering her cooldowns whenever she's used in a successfully executed skill chain, which can be really solid. She also can do really good damage in multiple different Climax Battles. She's not good right now in the current Endeavor Climax Battle because of her canceling status elements, but besides that, she's decent in all the others. And then when it comes to Club Festival, I feel like she's going to be an okay-ish option, but I feel like having her on your team, setting up your team for her, requires you to remove some of your damage dealers, so she won't be as good in Club Festival. So in general, I would say she's going to be okay in VE Tower and Climax Battle, but just okay-ish in Club Festival. So for that reason, I would say she's good in two things, which means that this Sue does go into A tier, where she is, you know, decent overall. Next up, we have the New Years Konari. New Years Konari is an interesting character. He's a very good tank, as I have tried him out in PvP and some different content in the game, and I'm like, okay, he's actually decent. He would be really good in Climax Battle for tanking different Climax Battles. Like in general, he'll be good in most Climax Battles as a tank. However, he doesn't offer the craziest damage, so keep that in mind if you are going to use him. He'll be okay-ish in VE Tower, potentially. He doesn't have status elements though. A Konari without status elements is a bit rough to me, so I don't really like him in VE Tower. And then he's just going to be bad in Club Festival, because once again, Club Festival, you're looking for that big damage, the AoEs, you're not really running tanks. So I would say in general, he's good in one thing, which is going to be Climax Battle, where he's just a decent tank there. So he definitely goes into B tier. He is a niche character where you'll use him for like one particular thing, and that is going to be Climax Battle. He can be used in multiple Climax Battles though, so that is fairly okay. Next up, we have New Years Juro. New Years Juro is a interesting character to say the least. So she's terrible in Club Festival. She will be terrible in VE Tower. The only way she could be okay in Club Festival is if you have like an all purple team that burns, then maybe, like if they set up a specific Club Fest team to where you have to have this Juro, then maybe she'll be good, but I highly doubt it. So she's going to be bad in Club Festival, she's going to be bad in VE Tower, and she's only really great in one Climax Battle. She's not even good in multiple Climax Battles, because how often are you going to be taking on like the Night Eye Climax Battle and be running an all mine type team so that you can use her mine type support? It's just not going to happen. So for that reason, I would say she's good in the one Climax Battle. We're going to put her into rarely used. I think you'll use her literally for the Endeavor Climax Battle, and that's about it. So that's when you'll see Juro used. So honestly, it's so sad. This New Year's character is probably one of the worst limited limited character releases, like in the past, I don't know, 2 years almost. Like last year's New Year's characters were better because she's low on the PVE tier list and she's also low on the PvP tier list, which feels a little bit bad, but that's just where she goes. It's where she belongs. And if you guys disagree, if you think she's better than C tier for PvE, let me know down in the comments. And maybe we'll adjust in the future depending on what you all say. Next up, we have New Year's Endeavor. New Year's Endeavor is interesting. I think he will be good in VE Tower because of his status elements, his cooldowns, and everything that he has to offer for the team. He also has the ability to give status element nullification to himself for the first 3 turns, which can be helpful. And he will be good in Climax Battle when you take on multiple different Climax Battles, just because he has good damage. And then in Club Festival, though, because he does only have single target attacks, while he does have Piercing Shot on his action skill 2 and his plus ultra, and he does have the burns, I don't know how effective that's really going to be in Club Festival. It's yet to be seen. This is a character who, once again, we just don't have built up yet to level 100, level 130 to know how good he's going to be as a free-to-play character. So it could turn out that he's actually really good in Club Festival, but usually more often than not, you need characters with AoEs to be good in Club Festival. And so I'm thinking right now he's going to be good in at least 2 things. He's going to be good in VE Tower and he's going to be good in Climax Battle. But I can't promise that he's going to be good in Club Festival. So for right now, we'll put him into A tier with the potential to move him up or down, just depending. But Endeavor's that one character I can't really nail down. And I said this in the PvP tier list. I can't say for sure if he's going to stay where I am putting him, just because, once again, like nobody has him built all the way up yet. Next up, we have Winterhawks. Winterhawks is just flat out the best pro hero support in the game. He's a very good character. I said this in the PvP tier list as well. However, when it comes to PvE, I would say he's not nearly as high on the tier list as PvP. So PvP, he was at the top of the tier list. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched that tier list video. But in PvE, I would say he's good in Climax Battle. Like, he's really good right now in the current Climax Battle. I dare say he's better than Juro, where Juro is supposed to be good in this particular Endeavor Climax Battle. I like running Hawks better than I like running Juro, which is crazy. And he'll be good in other Climax Battles as just like a healer, a support. He's just a very solid character. His ability to draw aggro. He does a lot of things, right? Okay. But then when it comes to VE Tower and Club Festival, he's not going to do the most damage for Club Festival. He does have the AoE, but he's not the craziest. And then when it comes to VE Tower, he's just not going to have status ailments or the greatest technical hits or things like that. I think he'll be okay in those. Potentially, he could be good in Club Festival. Once again, this is another character I will say he could potentially be good in Club Festival because maybe you need a character to draw aggro and buff your other allies. But specifically, he's a pro hero support, so it might be hard to run all pro heroes in VE Tower and Club Festival to make full use of his kit. So for that reason, I would say he's just going to be okay in VE Tower and Club Festival right now, not really good in those things like he's going to be in Climax Battle. So because he's really good in Climax Battle, and that's just one particular thing, I am going to put Hawks down here in B tier, which feels bad just putting him next to Kaminari and Toru because I love the character. I feel like he's so good, right? But realistically, when it comes to PvE, he's only really great in one form of PvE content right now. He's okay in the other two, but not really good. Next up, we have 100 million All Might for the final character. So the 100 million All Might is a very interesting character. He is going to be good in Climax Battle because he can do AoE damage. He does very big damage. He has Piercing Shot. He has the ability to decrease the speed of opponents and their crit rate. He can decrease action skill impact of the enemy by 50% if you have a blue type character on your team, and reduce your own skill impact though as well when you do that. He can make all allies ecstatic, which is insanely good for like VE Tower, making allies ecstatic. Having low cooldowns of 3-turn cooldowns is really good for VE Tower. And then when it comes to Club Festival, like I said, he is going to have that AoE damage. He's going to just be one of the best characters to pop off for you, and he gets stronger as the battle goes. Now what he does lack is he does lack some status ailments. If he had status ailments, he'd probably be the perfect character, but because of all those things he does, I would say he's good in Climax, I would say he's good in Club Festival, and I would say he is good in VE Tower as well. So the only character that I would say right now to get added to S tier. He is actually an S tier PvE character overall, in my opinion. He is very, very solid and a very decent choice if you guys wanted to try running him in the next Hub Festival that comes out in VE Tower when VE Tower comes out again. I wouldn't necessarily recommend running him right now in the Climax battle that's out with Endeavor, but other Climax battles I do think he'll be good in as well. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and if you guys agree with the tier list, let me know. If you disagree with the tier list, let me know as well. If you enjoyed the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Peace.